you know him, you've played for him, you like him. If you were to send him a message tonight, what would you say to him? Because I think you'd either have to be an Arsenal fan or have a heart of stone not to feel for him at the moment.
Stay strong. It's a tough moment, a real tough moment, and you can see that he feels it. He wears it, with his heart's on his sleeve. And at this moment in time, he's being tested. He's really being tested. He's being tested in his beliefs. He's being tested. He's asking questions of himself. Of course he is. We all do in difficult moments in time. But that's where you need support. You need the club behind you. You need the team behind you. And at this moment, that's what they really need. There's
how much now they haven't got midweeks for a bit and so on and so forth. How much is him with the players? How much is it his staff with the players? Where does he come into his own in trying to pick them up?
It's a complete collective. It's a complete collective. All of them working together. And by now, he's not a new manager. He's been there, over 18 months. He's well established at Tottenham Football Club. So that's his coaching staff. That's his personal relationships with the teams. That's the debriefs. The debriefs are so key. I know that in professional football, and I know how fans see football, and they think that people just turn up on a Saturday. But there's so much that's going on, and that's where the work comes in. They might have some midweeks free, but it's a time to rediscover who they are, because they're not playing the same football that they're practicing. Trust me, in training, they'll be bopping it through the lines. They'll be receiving it on the half turn. That is not happening out there at the moment.
But from a fan's point of view, we were they've been sitting right above the Tottenham fans today.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I think they shout at their players is move. Right, move, to try and give them options when they have the ball. So is that the players? Is that coaches? Is that a bit of both? Because that's where their frustration was today.
It's everyone, and they're right, because everyone's accepted that Tottenham are going to be a team that play. All the conversations about are they going to dig in 4-4-2 and ground out a few results? Okay, everyone's bought into it now at Tottenham, but to play proper, progressive, pressing football and possession football, you have to have movement. You have to have options. We've got so many options of Aston Villa players who aren't necessarily completely total football, but every single one's getting into their position with pace, with assertiveness, saying, give me the ball, if not, I'm going to take someone out of the way. Tottenham haven't got that. We were talking about young Archie Gray. Every time he got up and he looked up, Dion, you were feeling for him. Because he wants to play. He's being told by his manager to play. It's the way football's played nowadays, but there's just no options for him.
Well, you know what it is as well, Chaps? When you are in the situation that these Spurs players are in at the moment, and the observation is absolutely spot on, there's no options. There's no options because the players that should be giving the options don't have the confidence to have the ball in the positions where they can receive it because they're not backing themselves. So that, I hate to say this, but we used to call it hiding. Hiding. So, I don't want to pretend, or go into a position where you can't receive it. And that's what's happening at the moment. No Spurs player, and Sonny, who's their best player, is at the moment going through that phase as well. Well, he doesn't want it because he's having a good time. Alan Shearer said it in comms. There was a shot to be had from 8 yards out, and Sonny nudged it to his mate.
Bread and butter for him when he's on.
You expect him to shoot there. I was surprised. I couldn't believe it. When the studio here was like, shoot. He's so good with both feet. Even change the angle and get a shot on that. But listen, we've all been there. I think everyone's, we've played the game. We've been there where we've had periods where you're not playing well. And at times you do hide. But then sometimes it's about just going back to basics. You stick together as a group. And I know it sounds boring, but you stick together as a group. And sometimes it's not even about football. Sometimes you might have a week where you train well, because that's where it starts. And, you might have a meal together as a team. But it is important that, not just the players, the manager, the staff and everyone, they all stick together and regroup.
The other thing, sorry, JD, the other thing, Joe, because I don't know the manager, Ange Postecoglou, you do. Would he want his players? Back in the day, we'd have a team meeting and the players would go, right, Gaffer, we want a meeting and we will have a chat amongst ourselves, what's going on. Would he want the players to do that, or would he want the players to still be under his umbrella?
It depends what they're going to talk about. If it's a discussion that he can feel it's a discussion about a mutiny, we feel like we need to play 4-4-2 and hit it long, that's obviously when you're going to have problems. But, being a senior player for him, knowing that every now and again you need to just say to the dressing room, can we just have 5 minutes? Lads, what are we thinking here? Where's everyone's heads at? We've all been in dressing rooms when we've said, here's the opportunity. I can feel frustration from you. And you'd get them out of nowhere. You'd get someone who's very passionately got some feeling towards it. And it just starts to change things. But you need everyone on the same page. However that works, whatever it looks like, that's what Tottenham need at the moment. You've got the fans pulling in one direction. You've got Ange fronting up talking about the injuries. You've got the players on the field who know they should be playing, but they're not quite getting in the position to get the ball at the moment, hoping someone else does it. It's not a good recipe, and it needs addressing.
But you can sense the frustration amongst the fans, and you can also sense a confusion amongst the fans, can't you? But in the sense of they're not quite sure where to pin them. I know Daniel Levy will get an awful lot of criticism, and there were chants of Levy out here. But when you're looking from the football side of things, they're not quite sure really where the fault is, and that's, I think, what makes it quite difficult.
Yeah, it is difficult. Listen, there's been a lot of noise around Tottenham and obviously the chairman, the manager. Obviously, the players have to take responsibility at the end of the day. The manager.
It's not Ange Postecoglou's fault they couldn't pass to each other at Anfield, is it? Really?
But then, I mean, you look at.
Well,
but obviously with Tottenham, some people, you say that you look at the infrastructure, and you look at the training ground and the stadium, and what a time to be a Tottenham player. Not too long ago, Champions League final. If we'd have got over the line and won the Champions League, would everyone want that? Would be, trying for Daniel Levy to leave. But listen, it's a difficult time, and the manager, everyone keeps saying about, obviously, the injuries. I think when you look at not just the injuries, I mean, players that will start, it's like the starting 11 players. I think once he gets those players back and try and finish the season strong, it will make a difference.
But if you're actually looking for a positive there, then Matthias Tell is up and running for Tottenham.
I thought he did well. I thought he did well today. He's up there on his own. He's trying to hold the ball up. He's trying to hold the ball up for longer than he needs to because his teammates aren't getting up the pitch to help him out. I thought he did well today. He deserved his goal.
Let's just show you the fixtures that Tottenham have got coming up. Manchester United at home next weekend. They go to Ipswich. They have Manchester City at home as well. The Europa League, which becomes huge for them now, really, before a difficult home game against Bournemouth and Fulham away. It is to a certain extent all eggs in the Europa League basket, isn't it?
Oh, 100%. No getting away from it now. That has got to be the narrative of the season. That's when they need their players fit for. That's when the focus and Tottenham have to come to life and have to unite. It looks like they're going to just kind of bodge their way through the Premier League season. Unfortunately, if we're being brutally honest, that's what's going to happen. Because the Premier League smells Tottenham at the moment. They know how to play against Tottenham Hotspur. They know if they put pressure on them, it's going to be difficult. Europa League, different animal, different leagues, more respect coming into it, and you can create those special nights, and that's where their head's going to be at.